I remember talking to Slam about that when he was experiencing that, and he was like, "Oh, this is so irritating."
Oh, dude, there was one part of that game where I just wanted to throw every piece of Nintendo gaming thing that I had out the window. I was so frustrated. I was like, it seems like it's intentionally designed to infuriate me.
Welcome to the most chaotic episode we have ever had on Level Up Legacy. We are going to burn this place to the ground, and we're going to do that by talking about JRPGs that we think are maybe just a little bit overrated, or maybe a lot. We'll find out. We just want everybody to know up front that we love you, and it's going to be okay. All right. So, Mags, how are you doing?
I'm doing great because I've been playing more of the Trails in the Sky demo, and it's everything that I wanted it to be. I also checked it out on Switch for a little bit, and it looks really good on Switch as well. Yeah.
I have
How
a
does
question.
The Switch 2 thing work?
Yeah, do they have the Switch 2 demo out yet, or is it just the Switch 1 demo running on backwards compatibility?
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, for now. I don't think that the Switch 2 version will be available until release when you can get the upgrade. But honestly, it looks really good on the Switch 2. Like, at least compared to other Trails Switch ports that we've had recently with like Daybreak and Daybreak 2. Those look really rough, and you can tell that there wasn't really a lot of work put into them. But this one is not like that. You can tell it's a little bit like downgraded from the PS5 version, because I played that for like 9 hours so far, and I've only played the Switch one for like an hour. But I don't think it's like that significant, and even portably, it looks really good. So super excited to see that because I'm going to be playing it on Switch. I think for my main playthrough, I really want to have it like portably as an option. So it's just exciting to see that it's going to look good and run well on that console, since a lot of people are going to be picking it up on there as well. So super happy about that. Yeah, I know. And it really wasn't that long. Like, it was just a few days after the PS5 and PC demos. So I'm glad the wait wasn't that long. Even though it might have felt that way.
After my crash out, I downloaded it, and I haven't touched it yet because I've been distracted. But it's not my turn yet. Slam, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been continuing my playthrough of Trails of Cold Steel, having a good time. I think I'm about 27 or 28 hours in. I said last week that I was going to try to progress the story a bit. I lied. I've still just been doing a lot of random stuff in that game. I really, really like the characters. Really, really like them. I'm having a good time kind of learning more and more about each of them and seeing how things progress as the story goes on. I've also played more of the Trails of the Sky demo. Love it. It couldn't be better. It's everything I would have asked for. So very, very happy with that. But that's pretty much all I've been playing right now. I'm trying to prepare for PAX West.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm really trying to find like a game that I could play on my Switch 2 in preparation for travel that I haven't played yet. So
I had a recommendation for you, but you already recommended it to me. So.
What was it?
Unicorn Overlord.
Greatest story ever told.
Greatest story ever told. Let's go.
Hype. And that's it for me. Just, getting ready to go, man. So excited. So excited.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. We're going together, so we'll be getting something together footage wise or something for PAX. We'll have some PAX related something on this channel. We're excited to go. But Tay's back. He's obviously moved into a beautiful new space.
It looks amazing.
Not dead. So how's it going, man?
It's good. Very happy to be in a much bigger space. I don't have to record in the same room that I sleep in, so that's nice.
That's definitely a good thing.
Yes. So this room is obviously empty right now, but it's getting there. So slowly buying stuff for the place. So that's been slow, but getting there. And I've been playing Fantasy Life I don't know if you've played that, Slam. Okay, I was gonna recommend that because that game, like, I've just been super busy, and that's like a great turn off your brain. Just let me do some quests, let me run around. Like it's.
I should pick that back up because I put like 9 hours or so into it, and maybe it was because I played Room Factory right before it that it just wasn't gelling with me. I was just like, I don't know if I can play this right now. I just really want to play anything but this. But I think that I couldn't see why. I was like, I don't know why I don't like it. I just don't like it right now. So
Yeah.
I should give it another shot. I think if I did, dive back in, and I think it would be a good one to go with on travel. So maybe I do dive into to Fantasy Life.
Oh yeah, and I feel like it's the perfect travel kind of game because you can just do a couple quests or level up a life like real quick. I mean the interactions or the gameplay sessions can be super short. So yeah, I think it's a fun one.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's gonna be busy. Yep. And for me, I did download the Trails demo. My Discord peeps that were supposed to keep an eye out for me did not shout me out, and I had to go catch up on a bunch of messages. Lorok, buddy, what's going on, homie? But I did download it, but I've been okay. Like, I know we have like the meme, the unicorn overload joke, but I am unironically addicted to this game. Like, I love the game. I'm in what's it called, Drakenhold, like the one of the new areas, and I accidentally went to the elf area first, but I was already over leveled because I did everything that you can do in the first area. And I'm like, this is getting kind of hard. Like, maybe I should go to the other area first. And then became very obvious that based on the levels of the actual battles, that's where you're supposed to go first. And so now I am just clearing everything with no resistance whatsoever, and it is incredible. I love the feeling of just toppling everything because everybody is already classed up and they're like level 23, and the battles I'm going through are like level 15 maybe, and I'm just bulldozing everything, and it's absolutely wonderful. So it's great. I'm having a good time. Greatest story ever told. And Slam, you know what, buddy? I'm gonna give you the win here. You were 1,000% correct. I love this game. This is absolutely a retro Brandon game. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'd like to thank everyone who's followed the podcast for this long, who's sat here through all our trials and tribulations and been here through it all to see me win and beat Mags. Let's go. Unicorn Overlord. Greatest story ever told.
My time.
Greatest story ever told.
That time is not today.
Okay, what? Enjoy it while it lasts, boys.
I will.
We will. Yep. I'd like to thank my mom for the support. So anyway, yep. So that's what I've been doing. I'm super into that. I'm excited because I think, for PAX, like, I'll have Unicorn Overlord and I'll have the Trails demo on the Switch. That's really all I need right now. But yeah, I'm having a great time. I wasn't expecting that I actually wanted to finish the game. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to need to finish this game and do it quickly because we're about to enter the onslaught of all of these games coming out. So, yeah.
Yeah. September is going to be crazy.
Yeah. But speaking of crazy, absolutely crazy, we decided to do this episode. That's crazy because like I said, we're going to burn this place to the ground. So we wanted to talk about games that are JRPGs that we think are overrated. I'm going to set this one up. We can all explain our reasoning, but when we say something is overrated, we are not necessarily saying it is a bad game. We are saying that the hype around it or the like legend of some of these games just doesn't really match the reality of playing those games, at least not right now. Like, sometimes that's revisiting or sometimes it's just checking it out. Feels like there's way too much hype. There are going to be things that are not great, of course, but that's kind of where we're coming out with this one. Otherwise, I'll leave you guys to justify your opinions, and we're gonna do the rounds like we normally do here. So I think we're gonna kick it off with Mags here. But before we do that, I want to shout out the Discord again. We're having a great time there. If you haven't joined the Discord, join our Discord, continue the conversation, keep chatting with us. We had a blast. As of recording, we just recently dropped a video, and the responses in there and the conversation that it sparked was so fun and hilarious, and it's just chaotic in the best way there. So join us in Discord. We're having a good time over there. Also, don't forget to subscribe and share. We are marching towards 1,000 subscribers. We want to hit that major milestone here. So if you like what you're hearing, you like what you see, you're enjoying this, please hit that subscribe button. And with all of that out of the way, Max, kick us off.
All right. I think we should start big, so I will. Final Fantasy VII Remake. It kind of hurts to say that a little bit, but I do find that game a little bit overrated. And I want to preface it by saying that I have not played the original Final Fantasy VII. And I think that can make a big difference with this one, because if you understand and like know that game and then you get this remake, I'm sure it's like the coolest thing ever. I can relate to that now because I have like the Trails in the Sky remake to compare that feeling to. So I can sort of see where people are coming from with like loving it. But as someone who didn't play the original, it was kind of a hard thing for me to get into. I think just because the remake and the part of the game that it covers doesn't really feel like a full story. It just kind of feels like an introduction where not a lot happens. Like you don't see a lot of story progression. You don't see a lot of character development kind of take place. And then the game also kind of throws in some extra like padding into the experience where it feels like it takes longer to get to certain objectives. It feels like some of it could have been trimmed down. And so overall, I just kind of felt like this is Final Fantasy VII. Like this is what everybody has talked about and loved. Like I just don't quite see it. And I think that once I play Rebirth, I'll probably understand it a lot more. But I just feel like as a first impression for someone who's not played it, I just didn't really get it at first. But it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. And I love Tifa and I loved Barrett. Like those are my two like favorite parts of the game, were those two characters.
So good.
They're so good. I thought Cloud was overrated. Maybe he gets better. I hope he gets better because I thought he was just kind of a rude, snotty little dude in that first game.
Max is fired. Moving on.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes for him. But yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see what comes in Rebirth because I think it gets a lot better from what I've heard. But I just feel like as an introduction, Remake could have been better. So it's a little overrated to me.
Yeah, I think the difficulty with Remake is, and they didn't really talk about it, but it really is like a sequel. This is like a sequel trilogy to the original. And for someone who's nerded out on 7 for a long time, playing the original and then getting into Advent Children and Crisis Core and all of that stuff, all the extended stuff, and then getting Remake, things were like bells were going off immediately. You're like, why is Sephiroth showing up right now? What's happening? What's going on? And then you start to see that this is like some weird sequel to the original, and where they take it is going to be very interesting. And so for a lot of us that were fans of the original who have the main story, we know who Cloud is. We know what he's going to get to. We know how the characters evolve. We know generally what the story is going to be. It was a really, really cool, almost like experimental next step for the lore of Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, I guess if you don't have all of that context, I can 100% see where you're coming from, because you're like, wait, what? That was it? Like, why is everybody so hyped about this? So yeah, I feel like that's fair. I hear you.
So I'm not fired?
Nah.
Oh,
You're
no,
not fired.
Thanks. Well, I was worried about that, guys.
You're not, yeah.
And you're not wrong.
Man.
Even as someone that loves that game, I think they stretch it too, because the part in Remake from the original game is only like 3 or 4 hours. So imagine 3 or 4 hours stretched to 30 or 40 or however long you take with
hours.
it.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, wait a minute, like what even happens? Like in the story? Like I just wanted more, and I know that's gonna happen in Rebirth. So I just need to like find time to play that. I don't know when.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Rebirth is like 100% the more that you're looking for. Like that's one of the reasons that, we've talked about this tension in Rebirth where there's all of this cool stuff to do, but the story is so addicting. You're like, I have to ignore this stuff. Like I got to keep going through the story because they present it so well. And again, as a fan of the original, seeing it glowed up like this looks Rebirth is incredible. So definitely, whenever you can get a chance at that one, that's going to be a good step forward.
Rebirth is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games and one of my favorite games. Honestly, I love it. I adore it.
It's overrated. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's funny with Mags not having played the original. I wonder if you're going to feel that pull to finish the game, because we all know what happens at the end, but not knowing. Like I wonder, it's like, okay, I'll take my time. It doesn't matter. So, because I just wanted to see if what happens or whatever. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. I don't know when. So
yeah.
Hopefully at some point, because I really do want to see kind of like where it goes. It seems like it definitely picks up in this one, or in Rebirth specifically. So,
Let us know in the comments how soon Mag should prioritize Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Well, we'll have that conversation from there. And then join us in Discord and add some pressure. All right. Anyway,
they're already doing that. Just add to that pressure. Why not?
They are. Yeah. Add to the fire.
Yeah.
All right, Slam. Speaking of adding to the fire, what is your first overrated JRPG?
Okay. All right. So first up, I'm going to go with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So look, the Mario RPGs are interesting. They're nice, kind of little bite-sized introductory RPGs that are pretty decent, especially if you're a fan of Mario and the Mario universe, etc. But I felt like Thousand Year Door was like unnecessarily long. It also just doesn't have a lot going on. The mechanics are nice. I like the turn-based elements. I like the combat, but the overall package just doesn't hit with me all that well. I'm not one of those huge Paper Mario like art style fans. I know some people really, really love that. I could take it or leave it. It's just kind of another art style to me. But the thing that I was the most frustrated by with the remake was, and something I didn't really notice the first time I played it, but I noticed a lot more this time, was the backtracking. Like you have to do so much of that, I'd say, in like the last third of the game, where it's just like, why am I still going back and forth through all these areas? It pads so much time and the game ends up being pretty long, and I'm just not, I really wasn't that into it. And the reason why I say it's overrated, do I think it's a bad game? No, I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's a pretty good game. But people talk about Paper Mario Thousand Year Door like it's one of the best Nintendo games ever made. That it's definitely the best Mario RPG. It's one of the best Nintendo games ever made. And people talk about it like it's their favorite game of all time. And I just don't, I could never see it.
I'm kind of with you, Slam. I didn't play the original, but I tried playing the remake, and I got, I don't know, 5-10 hours in, and I just got bored and stopped playing. I'm like, I get it. Like the combat's cool and there's some charm to the world, but I was just like, there's nothing, like you said, there's nothing to grab onto. Like the story is not really pulling me in. So I'm kind of, I feel the same way in some ways.
Yeah, I feel like I've enjoyed, so I love Super Mario RPG. I think I love that game because of how tight it is. It's tight, short, straightforward, fun, goofy. It's great. I've tried getting into Paper Mario as a series several times. And I think because they're so much longer, there's a lot more going on. But one of the problems that I have with it is like, because they're established Nintendo characters, you don't necessarily have, and someone's going to blast me if this is not true because I haven't played a ton of time, but it doesn't feel like there's a lot of the character development and those kinds of things that you get in typical JRPGs. It's like Mario, and Mario is the hero, and then maybe you get some other characters that are going to help Mario, and there's like the fun side comments about, Mario being a hero and things like that you see in some of these games, but for the most part, it's still like a Mario game, and I feel like they overstay their welcome a little bit. So I've had several times where I've taken a crack at some of those games, and I just don't get very far before I'm like, all right, I'm gonna move on to something else. But I haven't tried Thousand Years Door, to be fair. So who knows? Maybe I could try that and get into it, but you're right. I feel like that's the one that everybody is overhyping. Yeah, for sure.
Everyone talks about it like it's the greatest thing ever. That's the reason why I think it's overrated. If everybody was like, it's a good Mario RPG, then sure. I actually liked Super Mario RPG better because it was a much shorter, tighter experience. It was like 8 or 9 hours or something, if I remember right. Yeah. So it's like you're in and out. I just don't feel like the depth of mechanics in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door warrants its playtime. Just my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Tay, we're ready. Go ahead.
This is interesting because one of the panelists here is playing this game currently, but one game I've tried to like get in the mindset. I just don't understand why people like this game like at all. And that's Trails of Cold Steel 1.
Everybody thought he was going to say Unicorn Overlord, but it wasn't.
Anyways,
it was me, Trails of Cold Steel 1. No, so at first, like I beat the game, but I played it immediately after Persona 5, and it's similar in a lot of ways, like the school setting and hanging out with friends and turn-based combat. And I was like, okay, maybe I didn't give it a fair chance. So they re-released it on PS4. It was like a remaster kind of thing. And I played it again, and I was still like, man, this game is so boring. Like nothing is happening. Like your first mission is like you go to this town and your first task is to like fix a light bulb. I'm like, why am I fixing a light bulb? This is so dumb. And like you're just wasting your time, and you're just talking about the most nonsensical things. Like there's this part where you go to, I forget the guy's name, the guy with the long hair, and you're visiting his family's town, and you're talking about the food and like how they grow the vegetables. I'm like, I just don't care. Like, where's the story? Like, what are we talking about? Like, they just get into the weeds on the most nonsense stuff. And people are like, yeah, all the NPCs, every time you talk to them, they say something different. I'm like, but if they don't have anything interesting to say, why should I care? Like, you talk to the flower lady and she talks about something different. I'm like, so? This is so boring.
Like, I love how he's crashing out over Cold Steel 1.
I wasn't expecting him to go so far.
This is clearly a pent up thing.
You've held on to this. Like, why did this game hurt you so much?
Did you finish it?
I beat it twice.
You beat it twice.
I beat it on Vita and on PS4. Yeah.
Well, something hooked you enough to finish it that second time.
No, it was out of pure spite. I just to say no. I beat it twice and I still hate it.
Okay. Look, I like the characters and the combat is good.
Combat's good. I will say the combat's good. I get that, but to me, there's nothing with the story. And you want to talk about bloated? Holy cow! This game is like 60 hours, and like nothing of importance happens until maybe the last 5 hours. So,
oh man,
yeah, completely overrated.
I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm being attacked.
Your response?
Because I'm playing it right now, and I'm like loving it. I love it so much. I love the characters. Yeah. I love the interactions between them and learning more about them and their backgrounds and where they're coming from. I like that world building, like lore aspect to it. I agree.
Okay. Can I stop you there?
Sure.
Everyone always talks about the world building. What? I don't get that. I've never understood that piece of praise for the series. Like, oh, the world building. What is the world to build? Like, I don't get this. Like, please explain it. I don't understand.
Okay, how many Trails games have you played?
Okay, I beat Sky 1. I beat Cold Steel 1 twice. I beat Cold Steel 3. I beat 0. And I beat the first Daybreaks. I have basically just beat the first ones and all the.
Okay, that is your problem.
A lot.
That's the problem, because all of the first games in the arc
are
literally
like
set
this.
things up for the sequel, and the sequel is where like everything goes crazy. Like you have to like get to the sequel to understand and appreciate what happens in the first game.
And the things that go crazy.
What are we doing?
The things that go crazy are better for the first game before it building up to that point. But
60 hours of build up just so the second game is better is like nonsense to me. It's like make the first game good. No, the first game it can't hook
make the first game good.
Wait a minute.
You
Max.
can't hook me with the first one. You don't earn another 60 hours.
You just made an argument, a similar argument for remake, didn't you?
It's not the same. I don't think it's the same at all, because
of war commence.
But you haven't played the second game, so you don't know.
I mean, I understand that Rebirth is going to have payoff. And like I said that. You haven't even played the second games, and I don't know why. I just feel like I do think things happen in the first games. Are they as monumental as what happens in the second game? No. But they set the stage, and typically the second game in the series are like way above the first, because everything has a reason in the first game and you see how it plays out. Like that's why like Trails in the Sky second chapter and Trails to Azure are so good, is because the games before them set everything up to where like nothing feels wasted. I'm sure it feels wasted if you haven't played the second game, but it doesn't feel that way when you actually play them back to back like that.
I do, to Tay's credit, I do think there's long stretches where they are talking about some nothingness, where it's like, where you're like, okay.
You don't have to talk to all the NPCs if you don't want to. Like, no one's making you.
Yeah. They're like, what's going on? You know,
remember what I said to the audience. It's going to be okay. We love you.
And we love each other.
You know, we love each other.
So,
yeah.
Oh, man. That was, whew.
All right. Round one complete. Okay. Round one complete.
I still got a round one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think and nobody's going to get as fired up about my pick as that one, though. I don't think. All right. So I feel bad about this one because I have a lot of good friends that are going to feel this one, and it's going to be painful. But I'm going to choose Xenogears. It hurts a little bit. So I only played Xenogears recently. In fact, it's right. You can see it right there. It's right. It's right there. I love Xenoblade. You guys have heard me wax poetic about Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3. And even X. I enjoyed X a lot. But the core trilogy is the best. I think it's one of the best like stories ever. Aside from Unicorn Overlord. Anyway. But
anyway,
Xenogears, this game, for me, the reason I'd say it's overrated is because whenever you see anybody talking about Xenogears on the internet, it's like everybody talks about it like this. It's this religious experience. Like, oh man, like I've literally heard people be like, Xenogears like changed my view of religion, and I'm like, what? Like, what's going on with this game? So I played it. And first of all, it's a cool game. I enjoy the game. The best way I can describe it is I had fun in spite of myself because the game is so janky. Like, if there was ever a game that warranted a remaster or a remake or something, like it would be this game. This game is one of the most jank PS1 RPGs I've played. So there's that. That's not great, but you sort of get used to it. You get the mechanics, and the story is interesting. But like even the religious stuff, I'm like, it's not that interesting. Like you have like, a church, and then you find out what's going on, and like, oh, the church isn't what you expected. And it's like, this doesn't like, I mean, it gets into things that I don't want to spoil, that are certainly interesting, but like nothing made me sit there and go, should I be questioning my faith? Like, I don't know. It was just very like over the top sci-fi. I'm not even going to talk about like the second disc, like not even being a game. It's interesting. I think it has a lot going for it in terms of like the industry at the time. Like, I'm really interested in the history of the development of Xenogears and why it is what it is, and the ambition that was behind it that we ended up seeing kind of fulfilled sort of in Xenoblade. But the game itself is not, it's not what it's hyped up to be. Like, it would be hard for me to be like, I recommend to you, viewer, with the same fervor that I would recommend Xenoblade to go play Xenogears
or Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, that one I definitely would recommend. But I like, if you're interested in Xenogears, like maybe go watch a video. Like,
yeah, the gameplay is rough. It does not hold up well, man. Those platforming.
The platforming was the worst.
So terrible.
Oh my gosh. There is this one freaking temple. It's not a temple. I forget what it is, but you're climbing all the way up this thing. And if you fall, you just have to start over. And it's so janky. Like, you're in a freaking mech, and then they're like, hey, swing on this rope. And you're like, okay, and you try to jump for it, and you can't even see the angle correctly.
See it,
yeah.
Like, you're just guessing. That happens all the time in that game.
And you like get back up, and then
that's terrible.
And it's just
that sounds awful.
It's so bad.
Get me through this thing.
I would quit right then and there. I can't do platforming nonsense like that. Like, that would completely like take me out of it.
Yeah, and it's not just platforming; it's the jankiness of the platforming. Yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah, some of the translation's kind of hilarious, like some of what they say. Some of the localization that they did is pretty funny, and so there's some unique stuff there. Again, I think it's interesting. Like, overall, I liked the game. I had a good time with it. It just again, the reality of playing the game does not match the like internet lore for me. For that one, and I think it's overrated. I've also like to revisit Xenosaga because that's got a lot of hype around it.
Never played those.
I don't know. My guess is that's probably going to be slightly overrated as well. We'll see when I get there, but that's my pick. Sorry, Nish. I still love you, and I still think it's a game worth talking about. It's just janky. What can you say?
Maybe if they remake it. Yeah, the soundtrack.
Yeah, I would be really excited if they remade it, because I feel like there's a lot there that, if they put in the work to remake it and like fulfill the vision, could be incredible. Like, there's this one section of the game where they have this essentially this Coliseum, and it like changes the battle system. You're like in your mechs, but you're doing it almost like a fighting battle system versus your normal turn base. And it was super interesting, but super weird, because I don't think they repeated that at all. But like, that could have been its own game. It could have been its own thing. So I feel like if they had the resources that they have now, like if Monolith Soft could get their hands on the IP or the license or whatever and do something with it, it could be really, really cool. I think the guts are amazing. But as it stands, Xenogears on the PS1 is overrated, in my opinion.
It's also unfinished. They could finish that second disc.
Yeah. All right. I got it off my chest. Mags, what do you got for us?
Well, continuing with the Xeno series, this is a more recent letdown for me. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. And honestly, it really breaks my heart, because I love the Xenoblade series and I don't want to like dislike anything about it. And I don't dislike much about it. Like, I love it. And I really, really wanted to love Xenoblade Chronicles X, but it was just really hard for me to have a lot of fun with it. One, the story isn't like on par with the numbered entries. I feel like it's kind of formulaic. Like, you you choose a meal to cook. They make a joke about the Nopon and how he looks like a potato, and they want to cook him.
She wants to cook him so bad, dude.
No, she does. And then you go on a mission that's just more so like, go get this thing and like fight through all of these enemies to get it. And then, a little bit of story, like narrative beats happen, and that's it. And then you do that again and again and again. And it just kind of felt like there wasn't a lot there. And then in addition to that, the gameplay is pretty brutal until you get a skill, which I think comes in like chapter 9. So you have to play a decent amount of the game before you even get to that point. And in the meantime, you're just getting like completely demolished by all of these like super high level enemies. And I know that's part of the Xenoblade experience, but this one just felt particularly like unforgiving in that regard. So that's tough. And then finally, within the definitive edition, there's like an additional story epilogue that's added, and it kind of like expands, or it's supposed to expand on the game's original ending. But it's terrible. It's just terrible. I wouldn't recommend you play it. Just, view the regular ending and stop right there, because I don't know what Monolith Soft was thinking with this ending. It's just not it, especially after playing something so good as like Xenoblade 3 and Future Redeemed, and how that was like so excellent. Like, I just don't know what they were thinking with this. So I wanted to love this game so much, and a lot of people loved it, and it got great reviews, but I just don't quite see like what the vision was here, and I feel like it could have been better. So to me, it's overrated for that.
I'm gonna shout out Nintendo Force here. There is this particular issue where Mags wrote up her thoughts.
That's my review.
it's actually a really good read, because I see 7.5 here, and when I opened this, I went, oh, this is my friend, so I should read this, I suppose. And I read it. I suppose. And the way
I guess I'll read it.
She describes her mixed feelings about this, I think, are so well written.
Thank you.
And give you a good sense of her love for the series, but also her specific disappointments that she just discussed. So shout outs to Nintendo Force. Go get these magazines. Go support Nintendo Force and support Mags. But I have not finished, because I thought that the Switch 2 was going to give us an upgrade. And when I tried it on the Switch 2, I think it looked worse.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I've heard that it does, yeah, which is weird, but
yeah,
in handheld mode, it definitely looks worse. I did finish the game.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think it's the downscaling. Some games just handle it really bad on the Switch 2. Like some of them, when you play them on handheld mode, just look so terrible. Anyway, I digress. So I finished Xenoblade X. I loved it, but I agree with your criticisms. The story was basically non-existent. I didn't care about it. The gameplay,
That's valid.
The gameplay really got me, though. I really loved how, like, the depth of customization, the gear, once you got the scale, how fun it was to explore. I thought the open world design was really, really, really well done. I think it's like one of the better open world games like that exists. I just think it just hits that so well, especially how like it makes everything feel larger than life at first, and then once you get that scale, it just kind of flips everything upside down. Things feel a little bit smaller. Combat changes. You can explore parts of the world you haven't explored yet, and you kind of get the
and they
feeling.
Like designed it for that too, which is super cool.
Yeah,
that's exactly. It's very intentional.
Like up. Yeah, it feels great.
But I'm with you.
I agree with that. Yeah, I just think that
story and the quest design too. I didn't like. I didn't like how it wants you to grind so bad.
It does,
because there's just no way you're hitting that level cap to get to the next main story quest just by going through the game. So there is a lot of grinding. There's a lot of, for lack of a better term, padding here that makes it feel a lot longer than it needs to be. I also just don't like it when games force you to do something if you don't want to do it. Like if I don't want to grind, like what if I want to go under leveled? into this quest.
Yeah.
Xenoblade X don't let you. You can't.
Nope.
You can't go into this quest under leveled. You have
nope.
to have that level to get to that quest, and I think that is ridiculous.
I remember talking to Slam about that when he was experiencing that, and he was like, "Oh, this is so irritating."
Oh, dude, there was one part of that game where I just wanted to throw every piece of Nintendo gaming thing that I had out the window. I was so frustrated. I was like, it seems like it's intentionally designed to infuriate me.
I felt that way too, honestly. I wish that I had known you guys in March when I was playing this game, because I felt the same way. And I would get so mad. And I'm like, why am I even doing this to myself? But 90 hours later,
I did finish it. Yeah, it took me about 80 or 90, I think. The last boss fight was a complete, like, oh my God. I mean, it was so difficult for no reason.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was. I just wanted to be done at that point. I was like,
me too. Because I think there was another game coming out. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with Xenoblade X. I'm ready to move on, but I got to see this through. And I did.
Did you play the epilogue?
I did not. See, I was hoping for a Switch 2 version, like upgrade, and then I would go back and revisit it and play the epilogue. We haven't got that. But I also just didn't want to play Xenoblade X anymore.
I felt that when I finished the original story too, and I was like, I've got to play the epilogue so I can review it, and I did it, but I don't recommend it.
Okay,
so
good to know.
You could just leave it as it is, and it's honestly a better experience.
So if they took the goods of Xenoblade X and Xenogears and made a remake where they brought some of those things together, I think we could get something pretty good, right?
Why not?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought you're like, no, it would be trash.
I haven't beat Xenogears. I did beat Xenoblade X on the Wii U. I didn't play the definitive edition, so I don't know what they fixed. But I also hated the level gating. That was my least favorite thing about that game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, nope, can't continue the story until you're level 35 or whatever it was. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But they did fix the faces. The faces were terrible in the Wii U version. So I'm glad they they fixed
better.
Much better.
Yeah. The game at least looks better, but it has a lot of issues.
All right. Well, now that half of our audience has clicked off the video because they're so angry, Slam, what's your next one?
I feel like mine is not that big of a deal, this one, but I do feel like it's a little overrated, and that's Tales of Symphonia. So as a Tales fan, I used to hold Tales of Symphonia pretty high until I revisited it a couple times and was like, this might be one of the worst Tales games. Its art style is pretty good, but its combat is extremely limited. It's very it's hard. I want to put a word on it, but I can't, other than it's just limited. It just feels like there's a lot of potential and things that you think you could do in terms of customization and how you approach each scenario, but it's wrong. You have a very set way in how you have to play the combat in Tales of Symphonia, and it's just it becomes very formulaic. And then the puzzles in these dungeons were so obnoxiously dumb. I hated all of them, to the point where I was just like, I don't want to do any puzzles. Just let me go through and play each dungeon with this formulaic combat system that's extremely limited and get from point A to point B to finish the game. The story is okay. It's not bad. The characters are pretty good. They have some redeeming qualities. But there is, again, another theme in a lot of games that Slam hates. Backtracking.
Yeah.
Let's go. I hate it. I hate it.
Oh my gosh, dude. Have you ever played White Knight Chronicles?
I have.
Oh, God.
Did you play the second one?
Backtracking Chronicles 2?
The second one, the entire game is backtracking. Yeah.
Oh, so, man. And I love how in Tales of Symphonia, they came out with a remaster, and I was like, oh, shucks, maybe they fixed all the things I didn't like about the game. and I'll play it and it'll be great again. No, they made it worse. It performed worse. It looked worse. It played worse. The game was worse. So now the game that I went back and played like on like the GameCube version maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, oh man, I'm kind of disappointed with this. Maybe they remaster it one day. Some of these things could probably be pretty, easy to fix and improve on. And I felt Tales of Grace's F did that pretty well. At least that's my understanding.
Tales of Grace's F was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tales of Symphonia comes out with a remaster. I'm like, this is a worse game. They made a game that was already pretty not good worse. They released who did this? Who signed off on this? Who played this version of this game and was just like, yeah, the game has its, limitations and there's some complaints some fans have had for a really long time, but instead of fixing those, let's just make it all not as good. And hopefully people will buy it and love it. The answer is no. Tales of Symphonia is overrated. If you like it, I'm sorry, but it's just not that good.
I feel like Tales of Symphonia, for, I don't know, maybe this isn't true, but at least for me and a lot of people I know who love Tales of Symphonia, it was like an actual RPG on the GameCube in the GameCube era. So it was something to be excited about. Like, oh man, we got whatever, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, and Tales of Symphonia. Like, we actually have an RPG. And for me, it was my introduction to the Tales series. So the whole concept of like the way they designed the game, the battle system, the skits, different things like that, and the characters in that game were strong enough that I really got into it. But I played it with friends. I can't remember if there was actually a multiplayer option or if we just like did a switcheroo with controllers or something, but we made it work. We played together. And that made the experience much more fun for me. And so I thought about it much more highly, but, I think going back, like, that's why if I were to talk about the Tales series now, there are other games that come to mind that are top of the list for me, like Vesperia or Grace's F or things like that. But I still hold Symphonia in my heart because it's like the Final Fantasy VIII of the Tales series for me. It's what brought me in, and because of that, I can't not love it. But,
see, it brought me in too, but I don't love it.
Well, it's because of backtracking. It's all right.
There you go.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. All right, Tay, what you got?
So again, a little prefacing, this is not a game that I don't think anybody here dislikes, but the hype around it is like, I think I've gotten a little out of control over the years. And that's for Chrono Trigger. Like, yeah. Like I didn't grow up playing with that game. So I got into RPGs on the PlayStation 1. So like a lot of the Super Nintendo games just missed me, and a lot of them don't hold up, but Chrono Trigger does. Like I played that maybe 6 or 7 years ago for the first time, and I was actually really surprised at how well it held up. I was like, man, it's doing things that I didn't think you could do on the Super Nintendo. And like at the time, I could totally understand why it would be mind blowing. But I've seen it like #1 on IGN's like top 100 RPGs like of all time. I'm like, I don't know about that. So I think it's a great game. Like, I don't think it would make like my personal top. I don't even know if top 25 JRPGs list is just not really my kind of game. I like it though. It does a lot of cool things. Obviously, very inspirational for a lot of modern JRPGs, but I think the hype has gotten a little out of control.
And I think, Tay, to your credit, I think this is a good example of overrated, right? We love Chrono Trigger. I love Chrono Trigger. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But it is spoken about as if it is the best game ever made. It is the best piece of media ever crafted. It is nuts, the hype around Chrono Trigger. And if you're someone who just came in and were like, yeah, this is a great game, and came away from that thinking that, then yeah, I mean, that's going to be overrated for you because it's nuts. the hype around this one. And especially if you're like Tay and just went to go play it for the first time somewhat recently, after hearing all of the amazing things everyone told you about it, you go in with these absurd expectations that are impossible to be met.
Yep. Yeah, I think a great example of this being overrated is the fact that if you were to go to X right now and say Chrono Trigger is okay, you would be destroyed on the internet. Like you would be absolutely burned to the ground. And look, I get it. I'm with Slam. I love Chrono Trigger. I would highly recommend checking out Chrono Trigger, but I also understand what you should expect from a Super Nintendo era JRPG. Like Secret of Mana is something similar, right? Secret of Mana is a fun game, but like if you were not of the Super Nintendo era, you don't have nostalgia for that, or you don't have an understanding for how those games were built, and the experience of those games and the limitations of the hardware, and you're coming from newer RPGs, like imagine someone who's like, oh yeah, I just played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and her name was Mags. And then she decided after that to go to play Chrono Trigger and has never played it before. It's a wildly different experience. Like what Chrono Trigger did on the Super Nintendo was downright incredible. And it still holds up as a game, and it's still a lot of fun, and there's still a lot of good there. But you have to understand it's still a Super Nintendo era RPG, and that's not a bad thing. It just means that the rest of the genre has built on that foundation for several generations of consoles and has improved mechanics and has improved graphics and sound and music and all these kinds of things. Now, I'm not going to say too much against the music because I think that soundtrack is amazing and it lives rent free in my head. But I get it. Like I guess the way I see it is like I get it if somebody nowadays who never played it plays it and goes, I don't understand what the hype is about. I'd be like, yeah, I hear you. Like I still love it, and I do understand why there is so much hype, because I'm of that era. But I also don't think you're a terrible person for not liking Chrono Trigger.
I can see both sides, you know, like I can see someone thinking this is my favorite game of all time. It's one of my,
it's a classic.
Yeah. I for a long time, it kind of was, but I played it pretty early. I didn't play it when it came out, but I played it when I was pretty young. And then I played it several times over. I think it's such a good, tight experience that does a lot of really unique and creative things. So I can see why someone would be like, yeah, this is number one on my list. But I can also see somebody coming in with high expectations and being let down and thinking like, this is a good JRPG, but it's not the best thing ever made. Right. So I think when you set expectations that high for anything, you open up the potential for someone to be disappointed and think that the game is overrated.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I said like I have talked to people who have played it and been like, I don't get it. And the reason they're saying that is because the hype is so insane that they're going in thinking that they're about to, again, have this miraculous experience, like this religious experience. This is going to change my life. And then they play it and they're like, it's pretty straightforward. I don't understand why everybody's freaking out about this game. It's not that it's a bad game. Like, honestly, and, joking and memes aside, going into Unicorn Overlord, like when I started playing that, Mags was like, oh, the story's terrible. And so when I went in with the lowest expectations possible. And I'm like, hey, you know what? The story's fine enough and the game mechanics are good that like I'm loving the experience. And so for me, that actually like heightened the experience for me. I mean, part of it's the meme and I'm having fun with it, but it heightened the experience that like I went in with like mid expectations. Like Slam says it's going to be good. Mags isn't too hot on it. We'll land here and see how it goes, right? And then I'm like, oh, I love this game. Chrono Trigger, I feel like if you go in and you're like, hey, this like defined the Super Nintendo era, but it's a Super Nintendo RPG. It's really good. You should check it out, right? And then they go in with that expectation. They're probably going to be like, hey, that was pretty good. Love the music. Like it went a direction I didn't expect. Like I got a lot out of that game. But if you're going there like, you have not played a JRPG until you've played Chrono Trigger. That's maybe a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Expectations can really control a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's better just to try to manage them if you can, because sometimes it'll lead to disappointment if not. So,
yeah, for sure. Oh man, that's a hard one because I do really love Chrono Trigger, but I think it's like Slam said, it's a good example of overrated because of those things for sure. All right. Well, I have the horrible task of ending us off here, and I'm going to make a lot of people sad, and I'm sorry. But I kind of feel similarly about this to the way that Tay does to Chrono Trigger, and that for me is, oof, this is going to hurt. That for me is Final Fantasy VI. I'm sorry. I love Final Fantasy VI. I still would highly recommend it. Pixel remasters are amazing. The way they redid the music is good. I feel like I really need to start with this because I do genuinely love Final Fantasy VI. But I do think Final Fantasy VI also has the same issue that we were describing with Chrono Trigger, in that what it did on the Super Nintendo was unbelievable. What they were able to pull off, how they got there. I would argue that Final Fantasy VI kind of defines, along with Chrono Trigger and a few others, the sort of JRPG Super Nintendo era. But it is still of that era. And for somebody who is new to the Final Fantasy series, they go online and they see all this hype about 6. It's kind of the same thing. If you say anything bad about 6 online, you'll be absolutely destroyed. But the series has evolved since then, and I personally, we've talked about this before. 9 is my favorite. 10 is Slam's favorite. There's a lot to be said about the other ones as well. 7 obviously is a classic. Like, I think an argument could be made that 7 is generally overrated as well, just because of how much hype is behind it. But 6 is like when I did my ranking video for 6, I put it at my number 5, and I made a joke in the video about the internet coming. Like, I had like the Tron guys like in the background, like, you can't do this. Like, I made a joke about it because I see how the internet reacts to anybody not saying that 6 is the best game of all time. So yeah, I think it's another one of those where I'm like, 6 is good if you know what you're getting into. It's very fast paced. It's very straightforward. Like, there is a part in the story where it gets a little bit crazy, and I think a lot can be said about like villains. Like I do think Kefka is actually one of the craziest villains in the series. I actually find him a little bit more interesting than Sephiroth. I know Sephiroth is like the hyped villain, but Kefka is like nuts. But you have a lot of characters. They don't get a lot of screen time per character. It doesn't mean that they don't have any character development. They do, but it means that you're jumping around a lot, especially part 2. You're getting to the different perspectives. And if you're going in expecting like modern JRPG storytelling and character development, or even modern Final Fantasy storytelling and character development, like, it's going to feel very different. So again, I feel like you have to just go into this one expecting the right thing. This is a Super Nintendo era Final Fantasy. And it's a pretty zany, crazy one at that, which is a lot of fun. And I think you can enjoy it. You can get a lot out of it. Zany. Sorry, Slam. There you go. Not to slam there. But yeah, I think it's overhyped because of the nostalgia. I feel like big time. Like, for the entire generation of people who discovered how incredible JRPGs could be because of Final Fantasy VI, they will forever have Final Fantasy VI as its like gold standard of what JRPGs are. Even though things have moved forward, and there are technically better games out there, right? So again, 6 is great. If you haven't played it, you should give it a shot, but you should know what you're getting into. That's my
Yeah,
last take.
I'm kind of on the same train as you there because I've tried playing that game 3 different times and it just has never
Yeah, I
hooked
remember
me.
you
But it's
mentioned
always
that.
Oh, wow.
yeah, and it's just that thing in the back of my head where I'm like, I'm waiting for it to be the greatest, like you said, like the greatest thing ever, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this, but it's not like blowing me away either. I probably haven't played it enough to get to the good stuff, though, to be fair. So I feel like I'm always playing it at the wrong time. Like I played all the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters like back to back, and then by the time I got to 6, I was like, "Ugh, I can't play another one of these."
It's understandable.
So
Yeah.
I
For
love
sure.
6 personally, and I think I put it at I either put it at like the 2 or the 3 spot on my list. 10, obviously number 1, the best ever. No debate. I will not take any
I
arguments.
mean,
Thank
between
you.
like 10 and Unicorn Overlord.
It's 10, the best. But I think 6 is up there. Like you said, Kefka, one of the best villains of all time. I think it has a great cast. I love the art style. The music it's just one of those games when you boot it up, it's just like, wow. Like,
Oh yeah, and again,
And-
the Pixel remasters, what they did to the music was amazing. There's some iconic scenes in there. Like I said, it was in my top 5. So I'm not saying at all it's a bad game. I just think it's again one of those where the internet lore behind it feels a little bit overblown.
all right.
no, that intro is iconic, all
It
time,
is,
one
yeah.
of the greatest. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the opera scene, like I
Yeah.
will still always love the opera scene.
It feels so cinematic for a pixel based game. And it's just like, it's really, it's really
like
great.
if you go in being like this was on the Super Nintendo and you go in with those expectations, you're going to be like, man, what they pulled off on the Super Nintendo is wild. Like it is really good in that sense, right? So yeah, I just think people maybe need to stop, making death threats if you don't have a strong opinion of 6 or Chrono Trigger. That's my my take there.
That's fair.
I think that's valid for sure.
Yeah, maybe just no death threats, period.
Yeah.
Because it's games and we're having a good time with games. And if we
Yeah.
have different opinions, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. But Tay, I do think that you should
Definitely
pick a
play
time with the right expectations, just focus on 6 and give it a shot.
I will. I want to beat it at some point for sure. I feel like that's one of my black marks as a JRPG fan that I haven't beat that, but I'll get to
I
it
feel
at some
that
point.
too. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
played it either, so it's definitely one of those that I need.
2 out of 4 of us. That's crazy. You guys got to
Yeah.
play it. You got to play it so good.
I know. I'm so behind on Final Fantasy games. I have a lot of work to do.
It has been a
What
long
games have
time
you-
since I've played it. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe I should revisit.
What have you played, Max? Like which ones have you actually played? Should I not call you out like that?
My
Publicly
credibil-
calling you out.
My credibility is just gonna like fall to the ground. But sure. I actually started with 13.
Great
Interesting.
games.
Oh,
By
it's
the
one of my
way,
favorites.
thank you.
Yeah. I
I'm
played
Overrated.
13.
overrated.
Not overrated.
Everyone
Stop.
hates 13.
Stop. I don't hate 13.
Listen to everybody.
I don't hate
Brandon
13. It's
doesn't
great.
understand what overrated means, I don't think. He's a little
We just
bit
did a whole
confused
episode
with the
on it.
assignment.
Clamps assessment is overrated.
Okay, we're getting
you
the
started with-
soundboard. We're
you-
getting the
Yeah.
soundboard.
We need
Brandon
it.
needs it so
Overrated.
bad.
All right, Max. So 13.
Okay. 13-2.
Okay.
Didn't play Lightning Returns. I really just want to go back and play them all though.
They
We
did
need to
remaster them, yeah.
Yeah, remix. Yeah.
For sure. 15, 7 remake, 16, and then I played a little bit of 10 and fell off. Sorry,
Ah.
Slam.
10 is so good, man.
I just think that like I've not played like any of the earlier ones, and I just need to because I don't think that I can really
Okay.
understand like the scope of the series without that. So
Skip
Man,
2.
You
Just
really
don't
are
play
just
that
like
one.
modern. Yeah, don't play 2.
Don't play 2. Or 1, really. Just play like 4, 5, and 6 are solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
one in the pixel. Yeah, okay, yeah. If you're gonna play them, the eligible ones to play. I'd say for like you've never played, you're just going back 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10.
How dare you skip 8?
He
I
loves
love
8.
8. I love 8. I will love bomb 8 for the rest of my life. But I also recognize that if you've never played the series before, like 8 is not a good place to start.
The
It worked
story
for
is
me
good.
because
I like the story
Yeah.
of 8. I do.
yeah,
But I think
the mechanics are a little bit confusing.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, mechanics
Okay.
are oddball. Yeah.
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 What I do think 1 and 2 and 3 on the Pixel remaster are like worth checking out if you're interested, but I would not put them above 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10.
You might like 10 too
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
need to give that one another shot. I mean, your video on it was really good.
Thank you.
There's just so many games, so I don't know when I would get to all of these. And I need to play Rebirth,
All
so
right.
it's hard.
Start
It
with
never
Rebirth.
ends.
Start
Yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Start
there.
with the one that's like 80 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Easy.
She's like,
I don't
I
need
just
to
don't
sleep.
have all the time in the world to play all these. Brandon's like, start with the longest one.
Yeah, yeah. Easy. Actually, if you do the remasters of 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, they all have like speed
Fast
up features
forward.
now.
You
So
can
you can
Oh,
lots of
do-
nice accessibility stuff. You can knock those out
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
quick, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know. I haven't checked 7. I know the 8 remaster basically had like invincibility. You could basically just go through
Oh.
the game and not even have to worry about it.
Wow. That
I
doesn't
think
sound very
7
fun, though.
had the same. No, it's not. You shouldn't do
Yeah.
it. Like I did it partially because I've played that game like 5 times. So I wanted to see how the remaster went. But even that, I got to the end of it and I was like, I didn't have as much fun this time as I did playing it before because I wasn't actually playing as much of the game.
Mhm.
But you can do things like control grinding. So like in the 9 remaster, you can increase experience and speed. So if you're like, hey, I want to do some grinding, you can basically crank that sucker up and then just go really, really quickly. And then what used to take you 5 hours takes you like 30 minutes, so
that's nice.
that can be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
definitely worth checking out for sure.
I know I'm way
All
behind
right.
on that series, so got to catch up.
It's definitely worth checking out for sure. Okay, well, I think we've sufficiently burned the place to the ground for this particular episode. Let us know in the comments, respectfully, what you think about what we said and what games you think are overrated, at least based on how we are considering something that is overrated. Max, where can everybody find you?
Yeah. Avenger Mags on Twitter/X and Blue Sky. And then as a staff writer at Nintendo Force Magazine, which has already been shouted out in this episode. Thank you again for that. It's lovely. The staff are lovely. I think you'd love it. So check it out.
Awesome. Slam, where can everybody find you?
Slam Zany on all the things, mostly on YouTube and Twitter. So yeah, go check me out.
Go check them out. Tay, where can everybody find you?
Yep, over on YouTube at The Gaming Shelf. I've been a little behind on posting because I've been moving and trying to get everything set up here, but should be back to normal maybe next week or the week after, but that's where you can find me.
Sweet. And I'm Retro Brandon. You can find me at Retro Brandon on YouTube and at Nova Brand on Twitter X. I just posted a video recently. I'm trying to do some stuff with my thumbnails, see if they work out. So if anybody's got any thumbnail feedback for me, let me know. But otherwise, I have some content coming on some of the upcoming games. I went back and played Tactics War of the Lions recently in preparation for the new game coming out. So I'm working on a video on that. Very excited about that one. So keep an eye out there. And obviously, you can continue to see us here week by week. We will try to get some PAX stuff going for you guys as well. Slam and I will be there this time, and in the future, hopefully, we can get Mags over here. Maybe we get Tay to come out at some point as well. We'll see. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, we're trying to hit that 1,000 sub milestone, and with all of that, I think we're going to wrap this one up. So we'll see you all in the next one.
See you on the next one.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.